Can I show you something?
It's that time.
Oops, Merry Christmas.
Everybody knows there's not a better
Save the neck for me, Clark.
Okay, Eddie. With this bonus check, I'm putting in a swimming pool.
What is it?
It's a 1-year membership in the Jelly of the Month Club.
Oh, God.
I don't want to tell him what a cheap, lying, no-good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is!
We're so glad it's Christmas vacation.
I think you're forgetting how difficult it's going to be having everybody in the house at the same time.
Can I refill your eggnog for you? Get you something to eat? Drive you out to the middle of nowhere? Leave you for dead?
It's the weirdest thing. There's no cars, no people.
And an asshole in his bathrobe emptying a chemical toilet into my sewer.
Shitter was full!
I think it's best if everyone just goes home before things get worse.
Worse? How could they get any worse?
We heard something on the roof.
You couldn't hear a dump truck driving through a nitroglycerin plant.
Shh. I hear it too.
St. Nicholas is not coming this year.
You serious?
Instead, a much darker, ancient spirit.
Nobody's walking out on this fun, old-fashioned family Christmas. No, no! We're all in this together!
His name is Krampus. He and his helpers did not come to give, but to take.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la.
Mom, don't move. My tree.
He is the shadow of St. Nicholas.
Don't drop that!
Dad's gonna flip out.
No, nobody's going to flip out. We're going to have a wonderful Christmas.
studios of Studio A on the luxurious campus of Casa La Rogan Lumberport, West Bygod, Virginia. Ooh-wee.
Hey, David Dollar's on here tonight.
David D.
He's going to love our new song because he's a singer.
Yeah, David D. We're going to debut our new worldwide release tonight. It's going to come up. Because one thing I have realized by having girls in the house is some of the things that they listen to, and I was thinking about it today. I was like, one thing that we haven't done, we kind of do a lot of, everything off the fly or on the fly. Everything that you hear is not scripted. It's all basically somebody starts it and we just all join in.
I think they all know.
Yeah.
I'm sure they recognize it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Oh, you mean it's
But that's
not
just how it
scripted?
goes. It's not scripted. God knows it's not scripted. Before we get any further in this show, I want to thank a couple people from last night that we did a live broadcast down in Shenton for the Christmas parade.
Yes.
You're welcome.
There are a lot of things that you will not see, and there's a lot of things that you will see. Probably behind the scenes is a lot better than what you see actually on the video.
You don't want to see what happens behind the scenes.
Listen,
I think we should. That would be very entertaining.
first of all, I want to give a big round of applause to our newest member of our roaming live people and our group, and we will bring him in. Wesley Benson. Wesley did a fantastic job.
Yes, he did. Took instruction very well.
He's very good, and it was his very first time. And
his
he got
camera was great.
Yeah, well, absolutely was, and he got thrown into this crazy stuff that we call normal. But we're going to start bringing him in. He's going to be on the show. He's going to start doing some live stuff with us. He's going to be part of the film crew, whatever he can do. Because somebody has to take this over in 3.5 years. I was hoping it was going to be Todd.
Yeah,
but now he's got
with you.
Well, he's got a grandbaby
He's gonna
now.
move in with you, though.
He's got a grandkid, and he's going to be like,
Todd, are you moving with us?
I'm sure he will.
Yes.
He's not going to go anywhere.
Yes.
He can't go without his second lover, Chuck.
second lover. I'm the first lover and
If you-
only
if you
lover.
The
guys-
originals.
If you're all going, we'll just move the whole podcast.
Alexa, Simon says Todd is in love with Chuck.
Todd is in love with Chuck.
Yeah, see? Derek's not here tonight, so we brought
Where's Derek McIntyre? Where's D-Mac at, Michelle?
He's working.
He's working.
He's working.
Alexa's voice is just as good as Derek.
Oh,
you can't
no,
say
I
the
can see-
A word.
I can see there's going to be a game
Cannot
here
see
tonight.
the A word.
Alexa, sing me a Christmas song.
She said, "Screw you."
3 ships come sailing in on Christmas Day. On Christmas Day, I saw 3 ships come sailing in on Christmas Day in the morning.
Wow! Just so happens it was the Pilgrims, and they also discovered America on 1496,
That's awesome.
Portsmouth, Massachusetts. So we have Alexa in there too. She didn't catch it. That
Beverly Quinn joined and Joan Lucha.
What?
Is that Joanne? Is that Joanne? Is that Joan? Is that Joanne?
Joanne? Who? Joanne who? dude?
There's Joanne Cunningham.
Okay, very good. But we're going to have
Wesley.
a new show or a new song we're going to debut tonight. You're going to be able to catch it tomorrow on Google Play, on iTunes, on Stitcher. You're going to be able to download this thing.
Seriously?
It's going to be that big.
You know what?
Yeah,
Chop it up.
most
Chop
certainly.
it up. Make it a ringtone.
We
if you
were
want to.
rehearsing
Make
it
it a ringtone.
earlier. You
Yeah.
missed it.
Yeah.
Oh, I
It's
must
called
have
Duck
came
Duck
in.
Goose.
Well, you don't have a part.
Oh.
Listen,
Oh.
listen,
need to-
Michelle. This song is going to be.
I'm ousted.
It's going to be even bigger than your Christmas tree.
I got some. Listen, should we go there?
Yeah.
Let's go there. Well, first
Should
of
we
all,
go there?
today, one of our close friends of the show, and I love going down there any chance I get, in the spring to get flowers, in the fall to get pumpkins, at
Mums.
Christmas time to get anything Christmassy, is Robert Bell at the Designers Garden Center on Meadowbrook Road. So I go down there
Yes.
today, and I had one job.
Yep.
I had one job.
One.
Is to get a Christmas tree.
One.
So Robert was nice enough to drop the tree off at the house tonight.
But what I told him before he left the house, I said, babe, don't get it too big because I don't like Christmas trees
Boing.
anyway.
It's a joke there.
I don't like it. I don't like them anyway, and I don't want to decorate them. So the
Yeah.
smaller, the better.
Yeah, you want
Is that
like
why
a
you
Charlie.
married Chuck?
Wesley, come on in here because we have an open seat next week.
Yeah, go on in, Wesley.
So anyway,
Whether D-Mac's here or not, you have a chair.
Yeah.
Christmas tree comes tonight.
Yeah.
Yep.
It looks like the Rockefeller tree. And Chuck was taking a nap, and I went in and woke him up and said,
Tree's here.
I didn't know that we were Rockefellers.
Did you just cut the bottom off?
Wow.
Wow. Cut the bottom off.
Oh,
Listen,
there's
it's
way
11
more-
feet tall.
listen.
Is it 11 feet?
I am 5'4", and I stood it up beside of me, and there is.
That's what I'm saying. Because we're gonna trim it down, and
have
then
a
we're gonna take
plan.
all the branches off,
I
and then
have
we're
a
gonna put it
plan.
all around the mantle, and because
Okay,
there's
yeah,
nothing
that's
better
what-
than a live tree because you can smell the evergreen.
That's
You
what
can
you think.
smell that stuff.
I have a
Yeah, I'm
plan.
allergic to that shit.
You're allergic
Really?
to peanuts, and you're allergic to green. You're allergic to Christmas.
I'm allergic
And
if it touches your arm.
seafood.
Gives you little
Seafood.
hives.
You're allergic to seafood.
Oh, I used to eat shrimp, crab, all that
Yeah.
stuff, and all of a sudden,
Shellfish.
violently ill.
Isn't that
No
weird how it just
kidding.
changes? Like,
Yeah.
You know.
I used to sit down with a sleeve of Reese cups and a glass of milk. Yeah, ain't doing that crap no more.
No way. I love Reese cups too. By the
They're
way,
delicious.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic.
Speaking of things changing, before we started, I was just thinking of something on the way home from Pittsburgh today.
Oh, you went to Pittsburgh. First of all,
Yeah, well, I went last night to my mom's
hey,
surprise
can you
birthday
call?
party.
Can you call your mama? Will she answer?
No, we're not going to call.
Oh, come on. We want to sing her happy birthday. Come on.
It was
Call her up.
yesterday.
I don't give a shit. Call
was
her
yesterday.
up. I want to call Jimmy's mom. We haven't.
Mrs. Wiz.
I haven't talked to Mrs. Wiz for a long time.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to use that
yeah.
other. You're gonna have to use that other line. She won't be able to
really?
hear us.
Hey, you gotta enjoy your mom, you know.
And
Oh,
we
you're
want
like-
to enjoy her too.
Yeah, I bet you do.
We haven't talked. We're calling up to Pittsburgh right now to talk to.
So how was the party, Jimmy?
It was decent.
So tell me what you were thinking while you're calling mom up.
So I'm on my way back, and I was thinking how things like seamlessly we just incorporate things into our life, and we don't really realize it. Like texting.
Yeah.
You guys remember when you started texting? Like it just became a natural part of our
It
life.
was
you know what I mean? It was like.
Yeah.
You know what I remember? I still remember the very first text I got. I had a phone. I didn't even know I could text on this phone, and I got a text out of the blue. I was actually in Shinston, and you know who it was from? Mr. Todd Beck.
No, that was your first text.
My very first text. You know what it said?
Oh wow.
I love you, man.
Oh!
I still remember it to this day. I was
Really?
like, what the heck is that?
Listen, keep all this and write it down if you forget, because I want you, when you talk at my funeral, that's the story I want to hear.
Here, Les, call up Jimmy. Call up your mama.
Here, we'll go.
You're giving me
I
a
don't know.
little-
Sure.
She's going to answer.
She will, because she's not listening to this show. And she's
Turn it
like,
up.
oh, my
Turn it
baby's
up.
calling me.
Turn it up.
It is.
My baby's
I don't hear anything.
I hear you breathing. I hear someone breathing.
I love you,
Maybe
baby.
it's just.
Maybe you need to work an iPhone better.
Maybe Anthony Morgan can come.
Yeah,
in.
the problem is that it is an iPhone.
Here, oh, we got a little.
Pull that off and tell your mom you're going to call her. Do you have her on Messenger or
it's
just
still
regular?
just calling. It must not be going through.
It's 18. You're on AT&T.
Do you want me to call her on my phone?
Here.
Oh, AT&T doesn't work here.
No. Here, call her. Hold tight. Listen, and then we're going to hear. We're going to hear our song. Okay, go ahead. While we do this, I want to know who's online here.
Oh, everybody's online.
Oh.
Jerry,
Tell us who's online.
Jerry Aspie just jumped on
Shout
here.
out,
Did you see
shout
that
out,
picture
shout
of
out,
Jerry
shout
in
out,
his
shout
PJs? You see that
Oh.
picture?
Yeah, I saw
I
The
didn't
whole
see that
family.
picture.
Have you ever
PJs?
seen Jerry?
We have PJs too. We're wearing Tuesday night.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Jerry without his PJs on?
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
Who else we got here?
No, thank you.
Oh God! I told you Anthony Morgan.
Shauna Purdue.
AJ, what's up?
Ronald Gonzalez is on
Shauna.
here. Gonzalez. Peggy.
Tina E. Fall.
Hello,
Hansen.
Tina. Diamond's on here? We haven't heard from Diamond in a long
Cindy
time.
Terry. Cindy
Hello.
Terry. Hi.
Hello, Cindy Terry.
Beverly Quinn. My mom's on here. Sandra.
Peggy Hensley is on
Sandy from
here.
Ohio.
Yeah,
Hello.
David Daughter. We said David Daughter was on here. Did I say
David
Peggy?
D.
Ron Golf.
Peggy.
My
Ron.
dad, Dr. Hall.
Dr. Hall from
Dr.
Webster
Hall.
Springs.
Hey, wait a minute. Jim,
I didn't see Dr.
Jimmy.
Hall on here.
Dr. Hall's on here.
Oh, I must have missed
why
it.
do you have to check on your mom's phone number?
I don't know his cell phone number, man.
Hey, how's your dad doing, by the way, Bruce?
Oh, he got out the surgery. He's recovering. It's going well.
Is it going good? Very good. Very good.
Good news,
Bruce's dad over in Japan had surgery this past Wednesday,
Yeah.
and he's doing good. Good news. I bet that's a relief.
Yeah, sure is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We're getting ready. We're
When
calling
exactly was it the last time you got to go see him?
Over 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
Yeah, I'm thinking about going back there, Chuck. Are you coming along?
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
going with
Oh,
you.
we should all go.
I'm going with you.
I want to go.
I want to go to Japan.
I do too.
I really do.
Come on, Jimmy Whiz Mom. What's your mom's name? I can't remember.
Kathy.
Kathy.
Her name is Kathy. Oh.
There she is. Hello,
Hello?
Kathy. Kathy.
Can you hear me?
I'm with.
Can you hear me,
hey,
Mom?
I'm with Jimmy right now, so it's not a prank phone call.
So we're not telemarketers, Kathy.
You're on the air, so don't say anything crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
Kathy,
my-
the reason that we wanted to call is because we understand you had a birthday yesterday.
Yes.
And one thing that we love to do, we're a big old happy family down here, and we love to sing happy birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna send some Pittsburgh love up tonight via some telephone lines, and we're gonna sing Kathy happy birthday. Okay?
Are you ready for this?
Good.
You ready for this?
Yes.
Okay. Who?
Yes.
And hey, Kathy, by the way, you're the hottest 29-year-old chick I have ever seen.
What did he say?
Never mind. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kathy. Up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, home of the Penguins and Von Haggerty and the Mellon Arena and the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Pirates with Chuck Noll and Chuck Tanner. Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
Yes. All right.
Hey, Kathy,
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
What do you? Hey, Kathy, let me ask you a question. What do you think the Penguins are going to do this year? Are they going to go for the Stanley again?
I think so.
Okay. What do you think? What do you think? And how much longer is Roethlisberger going to last down with the Steelers?
I don't know.
Are you a fan?
That's his choice.
Are you a fan
That's
of?
his choice.
Are you a fan
What's
of?
that?
Well, are you a fan of Pittsburgh, Dad?
Hell yeah, Pittsburgh's the best.
That's right. How about Permanis?
Who?
Permani
brothers.
Permani brothers.
Yeah, that's the best too.
Yeah, Jimmy does not like Permani brothers. I cannot believe it.
Hey, he's a foreign guy.
Yeah. I don't like it. Anyway.
Hey, Kathy, we'll let you get.
That's because Jimmy likes that weird food. That's why.
Oh, he is weird, all right.
He is most definitely
He
weird.
don't like nothing hot.
Yeah.
Hey, Kathy, nice talking to you. Enjoy your evening up in Pittsburgh, and happy birthday once again.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you calling.
Oh, you're
right.
quite
I had a
welcome.
wonderful time last night.
Yeah.
Very good, Kathy.
All right.
Hey, we'll see you.
Me
Bye.
too.
Bye-bye, Kathy.
Did you notice Jimmy's trying to get us off the phone with her real quick?
Well, now listen.
I don't know what he has
He
to
was
be
a-
shy about.
I think, you know what he was afraid of?
What's that?
I think he was afraid of us giving her a love jam.
Oh, well, see, and that's
her
where it was
back.
going.
Call
That's
her
where it
back.
was going because she said I had a wonderful time last night, and I wasn't going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Right.
I had to.
Well, and I'm
So
thinking.
anyway,
so-
yeah, she left early. She had a
I know,
wonderful time, but
I
she
know what
left
it is,
early.
Jimmy, because I saw a pool table behind the picture you took. I think she beat you bad.
We
Good.
didn't
wasn't it?
even play pool. You're the pool player, man.
Pocket pool.
Yeah,
Pocket
you play
pool?
the pocket pool.
Yeah, Michelle knows what pocket pool is now.
I learned
now
all
she
about
does.
that.
Yeah, she did.
I learned all about
Did
it.
you
we
store
were out
that
late.
in your brain this time?
I did. I know
Okay.
exactly what it
Don't
is.
push it out.
Don't.
Push it out.
Quiz me.
Have you ever wondered what Santa's going to bring you? What's Santa going to bring you? Are you naughty or nice?
You know what? I don't know, man. I've been a really good
I
boy.
want Santa to bring me a tree that'll fit in my house.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you what. This is what Santa's going to bring you.
Your tree's too big.
And Michelle
Yeah.
actually sent us that thing today to let
Yeah.
us know what it's going to be.
Oh no, she did.
Yeah. And we're going to say it in our sexy voice.
Oh hey. Oh.
Oh, what did I send?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't either.
Well, we're gonna find out.
But it's going to be all in the guise of what Santa's going to give you with our favorite buddy, Von Haggerty, as the star. As you noticed last night during the Christmas parade, once again, hats off to Chad Puccio. He was down there as the stage director. You did a fantastic job. A one-man show for the most part.
I appreciated it. It was a struggle. It was
Wes-
a little bit of a struggle having a skeleton crew. is what
Right.
we had.
Yeah,
Wesley
I
was down there
apologize.
for the very first time. Michelle
Yeah.
and Derek did a fantastic job as hosting the thing. But anyhow, what in the guise of Christmas with Von Haggerty in
Who's
mind?
your Santa? Who's your Santa?
Who's your Santa?
Who's your?
Well, I'm
your
going to tell you right
Santa?
now. Von Haggerty doesn't give anything for Christmas. What he's got, you don't want any part of.
Oh, maybe I do. Maybe I do.
Vaughn.
Anybody else? Because it's in your messenger.
Vaughn.
Oh.
Man, we were sent like 2 of them.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you can tell, once again, it's non-scripted show here at Rogan Radio. Thanks for tuning in.
Hell yeah, it is.
What are we talking about?
Rudolph's nose is red.
I don't-
The other 8 reindeer learned not to talk back to Von Haggerty.
Yeah.
The Grinch steals Christmas from Santa. Von Haggerty steals Christmas from the Grinch.
When Von Haggerty dresses up as Santa, the bad guys never hear the third O.
Oh yeah. Listen, hey, Superman asked Vaughn Haggerty for some new pajamas. Yeah, I don't. That one.
Listen. All right, there we go. All right, we're just going to cut that off
Vaughn
right now.
Haggerty caught the gingerbread man.
Yeah, he did.
The only Christmas present Vaughn Haggerty ever gives us is allowing you to live.
Nice. Shooting stars make a wish when they see Vaughn Haggerty.
Vaughn Haggerty was the original choice for the Santa Claus, but he kept killing the guys wearing bad sweaters.
Don't put lumps of coal in Vaughn Haggerty's stocking. He turns them into diamonds by looking at them.
Nice.
Superman asked Santa for Vaughn Haggerty PJs.
Hell yeah. Listen, when Vaughn Haggerty dresses up as Santas, the bad guys never hear the third oh.
Yeah, we already said that. Are you in the show
we
or what?
already
All
say
right,
this one?
scratch this.
Hey, wait.
Okay.
Only Vaughn Haggerty knows what color a Smurf turns when you choke it.
Oh. Yeah, that's a good one. What color?
That's
what?
a leg slapper.
What?
Santa
Alexa,
leaves cookies for
Alexa, is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Oh, Jesus.
Of course.
Oh.
John McClane saves the day with
See,
the
even
Christmas
Alexa
tree.
gets it right.
Even Alexa knows that Die Hard is the best Christmas movie ever made.
I thought she was my
Alexa, what is 643,742 divided by 640?
643,742 divided by 640 is 1,005.846875.
Listen, how does she know such things? Isn't that kind of scary?
Smart.
Alexa, what's my name?
I'm not sure who's speaking, but you're in Chuck's account.
Oh. Alexa, do you love me?
I don't have human love figured out quite yet, but I've been listening.
Alexa, I love you.
I'm flattered. Thank you.
Alexa, buy that penis pump that's in Chuck's wish list.
Do you want to shop for penis pump at Centex?
Stop. No. We don't want to be shopping for no penis pumps, Todd.
Yes,
Do you want
Alexa.
to shop for penis pump at Centex?
Okay.
Yes.
Alexa, cancel.
Yes.
Order.
Yes. Submit.
Alexa,
Submit.
cancel. Cancel.
Penis pump order canceled.
Alexa, no, cancel. Cancel. Listen, I didn't know that would do that. That's pretty.
Would you like to shop for some, Chuck? Listen, you're going to start getting emails and all kinds of shit.
yeah.
Now.
Man.
You're going to get stuff in the mail.
Oh,
Michelle's
my.
going to be like, hey, your penis pump catalog came in, Sugar Booger.
Hey,
And it's smaller than the Christmas tree.
Say again, Chad.
Isn't there something that was supposed to have been charged up by now that we were supposed to use as a gag?
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that later.
All right.
Because it wouldn't be a gag then.
No.
Ryan Favor said we're making
depends on how it's
his
used.
Alexa
Ryan?
go crazy.
Oh, Ryan's Alexa's going crazy? Alexa, sing me a Christmas song.
Good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Steve.
Yeah.
When the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even, brightly shone the moon that night, though the frost was cruel. When a poor man came in sight, gathering winter fuel.
Wow, she's good, buddy. You
Wow.
should. You know, Alexa can do a lot of things.
Ryan said they played the same song.
Did they really? That's nuts. That's nuts.
Hilarious.
That's nuts.
Okay, Kelly Beverland is saying adamandeve.com.
Yeah,
now, I don't know why.
Listen, I don't even know what that is. You know, I mean, I'm a Christian guy and everything, and I love reading the Bible in Genesis and everything, and Adam and Eve. I mean, they
They're here looking for you.
Penis pump.
Hello,
patrol.
Kathy. Not right now. The penis pump hasn't arrived.
Penis pump patrol.
Maybe we can call back to Jimmy's mom to what this about.
Nah, let's not do that.
Okay. Hey, anyway, we want to remind you also that on, not this weekend, but on the 14th, we're going to be broadcasting live once again in the friendly city of Lumberport, West Virginia. They're going to have their Christmas parade. And one thing that I really liked last night is that even though it was rainy, It was awful. Traffic. I mean, a lot of people showed up downtown, and we want to thank everybody for showing up downtown last night. And then it just.
Chad's laughing about something.
This means here's a story.
If you're listening to us on the audio version, Chad
No,
is
Anthony Morgan just said Alexa placed second in American Idol to Vaughn Haggerty.
Oh my God! Okay, hold on.
That was good.
Okay, let's see here what we got. Let me turn it down here. I got a different thing here. Let's see. Okay, you got to read that again.
Alexa placed second in American Idol to Vaughn Haggerty.
This weekend on the start of American Idol, you'll see Vaughn Haggerty live on ABC out of Pittsburgh at the Mellon Arena. You're going to see Vaughn sing all your favorite tunes from Pantera, Metallica, Van Halen, Poison, and all the rest, including Casablanca. It's the only guy we know that can walk through ships and holding cougars with a cap on his hat that looks like Santa Claus, drive a four-wheeler with a big 4x4, and at the same time, not even walk on water. It's Vaughn Haggerty with hot chicks around him in bikinis. With zippers that can cut glass, they are hostile projectiles. This Saturday, get all your tickets now at the Mellon Arena. Call 681-222-76. It's Vaughn Haggerty live at the Mellon Arena with Pantera, Metallica, Van Halen, and the Davison Brother Band. And American Idol this Monday at 8 o'clock on ABC.
That closes out with the truck. I love that.
Thank you, AJ, for bringing that one up.
This task cam over here was peak. That little peak light was just going crazy like a Christmas tree.
A little bit of a limiter on there. Wait. So anyway, we came up with this deal of, wow, I just already deleted it. Uh-oh. Okay, keep talking for a second. We came up with one thing that we love is music. We listen to music, we make music, we publish music, we do all the kinds of different things with music. So I was listening to some of the stuff the girls they were listening to. It was actually last night when we were playing around.
I came out of the bathroom yesterday, because I've been working on the bathroom for 10 years now, and I come out and walk through the house, and I hear from my daughter's rooms.
Oh, God.
You're not going to believe it.
No, I'm not.
Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer.
Really?
I've never felt so proud.
No
and
doubt.
they were blaring it.
Wow.
Talk about a proud mom moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than that crap they listen to now.
I know.
That's horrible.
But Bon Jovi was blaring out of the bedrooms.
Did you use your new turntable to create this song?
Well, here's what's going to happen here. Is with this particular song is absolutely going to be on the fly. And to give you sort of an inspiration on what this thing's going to sound like, I'm going to play a little sample here, and it's going to be something like this, but not a lot like this. Hey, I'm breaking my own.
It sounds like yes, but it doesn't.
Yeah, basically, and you'll be able to check this. I'm killing time, so if you guys have anything you want to talk about, you can talk about the bingo.
I would like to talk
thing.
about
bingo?
Lincoln,
Boats and hose.
Yes. Bingo. Lincoln High School basketball, girls basketball, is having a Coach Purse bingo. And that will take place January 6th at the Knights of Columbus in Fairmont. That's on a Sunday. Doors open at 12:30. Early bird games at 1:30. Regular games begin at 2.
But you better be done by 7 o'clock so you can be watching the show.
Right. Well, I hope if it starts at 2 there. But it's all Coach Purse bingo. There's also going to be baskets of different... all kinds of different baskets.
Right.
Did you give the doors open and all that already?
Bingo. Yes.
Okay. Ooh, who can they contact, Michelle?
They can contact me or any Lincoln High School girls basketball players' parent. We all have tickets.
On the brochure it says contact Wendy at 304
and you can do that for more information. Yes. But we've all been given tickets, so you can do that. You can contact Wendy. I have tickets. Any girls basketball players
20 games for
parent
$20
has tickets.
I like bingo. I did.
It's gonna be our biggest fundraiser for the girls basketball team.
Old lady already?
No, I love bingo.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Yeah, bingo's fun.
Well,
man.
a lot of people go for the prizes, but this is for a good cause. So the older man, boyfriend, whoever. Yeah, I think everybody should.
Well, there's
go.
gonna be refreshment.
Yeah.
There's gonna be all kinds of. There's a lot
There
of
won't
people
be beer?
Nope, no beer.
Damn.
Sorry. Bring your own though. You can bring your own.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, a little flask.
Yeah.
Put it in
How
your
big
jacket.
of a cooler can I bring?
Not a cooler, just a flask. Just put it right inside your
You can
jacket.
just put it in and cook.
Bring some of that stuff
Coke
Chuck was
cans
drinking
and
last
just
night.
walk in
So
with a
anyways,
can and cook.
anybody that likes bingo, that's a great way to support our Lincoln girls basketball team.
Absolutely. That was all jokes and everything, folks. It is a good worthwhile reason to come and do it.
Speaking of that, that's going to be our new debut. We're just going to get right to it.
Okay.
Now, the thing is, this song is called Duck, Duck, Goose. Okay? So the thing is, Todd knows how this song goes. And this is going to be on the fly. So your part is either to sing Duck, Duck, Goose or to add something, but not during the verse of the song.
Uh-oh, I missed the warm-up, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Should I just set
Nobody
this
was
out?
here for the warm-up, actually, babe.
Should
Jimmy,
I set this out?
no. You'll get
Oh,
it.
You'll
Now,
catch
what's
it.
the rules
You'll
again?
think of something.
Just say it again real quick.
You'll see. You'll see.
During Duck,
This is
Duck,
our
Goose,
song.
You can say
So
something.
we're making a new song. This is going to debut tomorrow on iTunes, on Stitcher.
Prestige. Worldwide. Wide.
Anthony Morgan is blowing the comments up. He must be bored tonight.
Okay. Check it out. This is RoganRadio's new debut.
New debut tonight. Live.
Tonight
Duck,
only.
duck, goose. Duck, duck, goose. Duck, duck, goose. Duck, duck, goose. Hey, little cat, and a fiddle that cat jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to seize that sport, and the rabbit thrust a spoon. Yeah.
Duck, duck, goose. Duck, duck, goose. Duck, duck, goose. Duck, 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 goose.
Hickory, dickory, dock, dicky dog. The mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck one. The mouse ran down. Hickory, dickory, dock. Yeah.
Duck, 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 goose. Duck, 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 goose.
Yeah.
Duck, duck, goose. Duck, 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 goose.
On the
12th
day of Christmas, my true love brings me.
Duck, duck, goose. Duck, duck, goose. Duck, duck, goose. Duck, duck, goose.
Duck, duck, goose.
The instrument spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain, one spider out. Elm got the gun and dried up the rain, and the instrument spider climbed out of the spout again.
Duck, duck, goose. Duck, 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 goose. Duck, 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 goose. Duck, 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 goose.
Jack and Jill went up the hill, picked a pile of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown. Jill came tumbling after.
Duck, duck, goose. Duck, 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 goose. Duck, duck, goose. Duck, 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 goose.
Golden
Duck,
green
duck, duck,
and go.
duck, goose. Duck, 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 goose. Duck, 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 goose. Duck, duck, goose. Go.
Mary had a little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb, sweet as white as snow. And everywhere the Mary went, Mary went, Mary went. Everywhere the winter let the lamb was sure to go.
Duck, duck, goose. Duck, 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 goose. Duck, duck, goose. Duck, 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 goose.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, falling down. My fair lady.
Duck, duck, goose. Duck, 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 goose. Duck, duck, goose. Duck, duck, goose.
Yeah, all right. That was the new thing there. That was
Oh,
the new
that
song.
was
You can
fun.
check it out tomorrow on iTunes.
The best part is
I
when
didn't know
the
that.
best part is when
You just
Michelle
kinda-
jumped in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
12 Days of Christmas. Like, what the
I
hell are you
thought
talking
we
about?
were supposed to. I didn't know.
That was great, man. It worked out
Okay,
great.
I missed the
You know what?
memo.
I'm pretty impressed that Chuck could flap his gums that fast.
I'd be surprised
I'm
what I
not
could do with my
surprised
gum.
you should give him a ride to work quite often. You find out how fast he can flap him
I
gums.
cannot.
Oh,
I cannot
my.
You're
read
like
that.
a
Sorry,
regular
babe.
vanilla ice, dude. That was awesome.
Yeah, you know what? I'm the killer machine. They call me the Big Sexy.
Scott
I thought we were
The bad
supposed
part
to
of
jump in.
No, you did fine.
you did fine.
Yeah, you did absolutely
The bad part
fine.
about it is, you know, he's been practicing that all day long.
Yeah, because you cannot.
No,
read
actually, I
that
did not. Have
fast.
I have not
I
heard
clean-
it
actually-
before. This
Actually,
is the first time I
actually,
ever heard it.
actually, I cleaned out the garage and then I took a nap. And that was after I had about 18 pots of coffee this morning. Wow. But no, that was about it, really.
Kelly Beverly said that 30 IQ points just dropped.
Well,
He also said, "What in the ever-living
who said that?
Kelly?"
Kelly.
Scott Swagger said, blah.
That's right.
Kelly, you keep that up and we're going to block you.
Hey, who do we have that
Block
we
her.
were supposed to bring on tonight or send an invite to?
Oh, that was, shoot, Alicia,
I know Britney Spears was trying to get on, but we
Yeah.
had her blocked from years ago because she
she's
was a
gotta
stalker. I mean,
wait.
when she
Hold
shaved her
on.
head and
She's
everything,
gotta
she was
wait.
like, I was like, come on, Britney.
Let's
And
see.
what's hilarious? Now,
Alicia
listen-
Bias.
Alyssa Bias. What is
Or
hilarious?
Bice.
One night we were sitting here one night and we were out. This
Here
is
we
what
go.
this past summer, right?
Yep.
And so we started talking about something, and I don't even know what it was, but I said, well, you know, Britney Spears is following me on Twitter, and she goes, BS, and I was like, no, Britney Spears is following me on Twitter. So then I said, let's pull up my Twitter. Pull up my Twitter, and you click when you'll see Britney Spears as a follower. Then go ahead and click on her name and see where it takes you. And I bet you it takes you right to Britney Spears thing and not one of these bogus like thing.
One of the
Boom.
certified ones.
Yeah.
But
So then it goes and it
supposedly,
goes to
yeah.
21 million fans or people, and it was like, boom! I told you, Britney Spears wants my body. I don't blame her, Michelle. You got old.
If you want my body,
This is
and
over.
you think I'm
What you got?
sexy,
Come
on,
baby, let me know. I'm changing my name. I'm changing my. I was going to be Jethro from Toronto as far as my DJ name. I
love
then
that.
when I do these, like when we start doing our songs now, my stage name is going to be the Big Sexy. Well, now I'm starting to think it's going to be on the other side of the rainbow because right here's the pot of gold.
Right.
P-O-G.
Wow.
The big.
Actually, I was wondering if you would need a rainbow anyway.
You know, that
but
big tree really got in your head.
Oh, I tell you what, boy, it's gotten somewhere else too. The
It's kind of
POG.
overcompensating, isn't it?
The POG pot of gold right here. DJ POG. No one's going. Pog.
Go ahead, Pog. Where are we going
Pog.
next, Pog? Where's the show
Pog.
going next, Pog?
The POG.
Maybe
It's
the
the
PAB?
POG clan, the
Maybe
POG
it's the
crew.
PAB?
Who wants to be in the POG? Would
I
that would
do.
that make you want about
I
it?
do. I'll
It's
be
better
in
than
the
a
POG.
POS.
Does that make me a Pogger?
I'll be a POG.
You ever been a pegger?
No.
Have you been pegged?
No.
I used to peg my jeans back in the day.
What is
Did
that?
ya?
What is pegging your jeans?
You know, you
Don't you
kind of
remember
like,
that?
you know, back in the day, like
Yeah.
probably what, middle school.
Have you ever? Did you ever peg yourself?
You would fold them over and then you would roll them up.
Yeah, you kind of
peg your
Yeah,
jeans.
you
put a little
taper.
flat fold over, and then you roll them up.
No,
and
I
it-
always
it was
bought like
And you
the,
make
uh,
them real
I
tight
bought
at the bottom.
You bought skinny jeans. It's
no, like
not
the
the
ta-
same.
no, they weren't even skinny jeans. They were the Levi's made the tapered
Yeah.
legs. Remember?
Yeah,
remember
right.
the tapered
Yeah.
legs?
No, these would like cut your circulation off at the ankles, but it
Oh,
felt.
yeah.
it-
And you put a
look
bandana,
cool.
and then you normally put a bandana like you just got shot in the leg or something. You put a
Oh.
bandana
But you
around
look
your leg.
cool, she said.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, but see, well, I spent my formative young man years defending our country.
In the truck stops.
Ah.
Listen though, did you ever have you ever got pegged? Did you ever do that peg when you know that little game? It's on a triangle.
What?
And it's got those little
What,
T's.
light bright?
And it's pegs, and you
Yes.
peg each other.
Like what you
Yes.
like at the
Nice
Cracker
and
Barrel?
Nice way to cover
Like
it.
that
Yeah,
game?
that's
Yes.
incredible. But
Exactly.
have you ever pegged somebody? And pegging means you win. Have you ever won?
You're a
and
pagan?
pegged.
Oh.
Darren's the pagan.
Oh.
It's you peg somebody. Have
Okay.
you ever pegged somebody,
Woo, you
Michelle?
guys are moving. You're moving way too fast
Me,
for
yeah,
me.
I can't
have
keep
you
up.
have you ever pegged somebody?
No.
No. So you've never
I've
won.
only pegged my jeans.
You pegged your jeans.
Yes.
Okay. Well, go ahead and read Chad's phone out loud there.
Oh.
Go ahead and read it out loud.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, wait, what am I? Oh,
This
I
is-
see cucumbers and zucchinis and
Just
stuff.
read it.
Yeah.
7 pegging foreplay tips everybody needs to know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what's that mean, babe? What's pegging mean? Alexa,
I don't know.
what's the definition of pegging?
Pegging is the present participle of peg. Peg is usually defined as succeed in obtaining a position.
Well, that's part of it.
Alexa,
That's the politically
You guys
correct
are- I'm
version.
in a
what's
trap.
the Urban Dictionary definition of pegging? Too much.
We were all talking.
Yeah, Alexa, what is pegging according to Urban Dictionary?
I don't know that one.
Okay, that's probably good.
Damn it.
Yeah. Probably
Um,
wouldn't be good to come across.
I'm way confused, but I feel like you're like
Yeah.
walking me right into something here.
Nah, we're not doing that.
Um,
He's trying to
do
give you a
that.
little bit of
Never.
insight to what he wants.
what was 7 foreplay tips for pegging? Okay, number 1 is talk it out.
Listen,
Okay?
Yep.
do yourself.
Talk it out. Number
Talk
2,
it- yep.
shop together for the goods.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is about going like you want to get. You go to Cracker Barrel and you look over the menu and stuff, and you
Yeah.
get like the roast beef or
Yeah,
you
the
know, corn on the
dumplings,
cob.
dumplings.
Corn on the
Number
cob's
3.
good too. Yeah.
Skip number 3. Is number 3.
She's skipping number 3.
Consider adding some vibration.
Oh.
I don't know what I'm talking about here, so
It's a
I'm,
dark
I'm-
spike. We're talking about playing. We're
okay.
talking about pegging.
Number 4 is easy.
Have you ever seen Married with Children peg on there?
Peggy?
Number 4,
Mm-hmm.
don't sweat a possible mess. Okay, everybody that has kids knows that. You don't sweat possible mess. Just keep.
Don't sweat possible mess.
Number 5.
Keep that
Lube is your friend.
Lube
I mean,
is
you may
definitely
be
your friend.
working on a car.
I can tell you this right now: if your shocks or struts run out of lube, you know what? It's going to be a rough ride.
Absolutely.
Lube 'em up.
Number 6. Warm up with that other activities first. Well, everybody warms up before they
You have
exercise.
to.
I mean,
we'll move down to the turkey trot.
you can't just.
You have to
go
stretch.
not stretch.
Do me a favor. Type in Urban Dictionary and pegging.
And I'm going to let Chad read number 7.
Just make sure. Do it, Michelle, while she does it.
Try fingers and even butt plugs before a dildo.
I wasn't expecting that.
Okay.
Urban Dictionary.
You asked.
What was number 3?
The bottom said, I'm bored. And it said, obviously.
That's funny.
I have the Urban Dictionary for pegging.
Do you have it?
Do you want me to
'Cause
read
I'm
it?
looking at it.
Go ahead. As long as you don't get too
now
obscene.
everybody wants to know.
Well, if you don't want me to get too obscene, I can't read it.
Oh, it's full of obscenities.
I won't read it.
Anyway, that was one of the jokes. Every now and again, we catch Michelle.
Now,
that
this
we're
is something I got to look up
she does
again.
not know something, and then we're like sharks in water. We're like, okay, when the innuendo starts, we're going to go after you. Anyway, the last couple of days, we had a problem with electricity. We had a substation go out, which brought up a very good point, because it seemed like the world was coming to an end because there was no electricity. And we are so dependent on electricity. Do you have a plan B? What's your plan B? Because there was a study that came out from the Pentagon just a few days ago, Darren and I were talking about, of EMP blast that would literally just decimate the United States, not so much in destruction, but without electricity, without cell phones, without anything that has a microchip in it would be considered
Millennials would die.
You know, these are topics we don't really discuss enough on here.
Not anymore.
You know
no.
what I mean?
We used to.
Yeah,
you know
Michelle.
what? Yeah, now
That's
you
what
know
that
what
is.
pegging is.
Wait, Cassie, now I got to look it up. Like she doesn't know.
Look at the look on Michelle's
Cassie.
face.
Wow.
Yeah, welcome to 2018, babe. So anyway, what we were talking about is what happens. Do you have a plan B?
Who would
when
actually do that?
Do you have a plan B when the electricity goes off for real? Like it can either be a solar flare or a solar storm, which is what I'm thinking it's probably going to be more likely of. Because
You mean for real, as in not coming back?
not coming back on. An EMP blast. When an EMP blast, now this is what people need to understand. When an EMP blast happens, there's not going to be some power guy going out on the line and turning a transformer or fixing a fuse, because everything internally on every single circuit and everything that's owned is fried. It's gone. Instantly gone. Cars, anything in your house, cell phones, everything is gone.
Jets in the sky.
Yeah.
Everything
will
is
all coming
instantly
down.
gone.
Why don't you explain what an EMP blast
I never
is?
thought about that.
Electromagnetic
All the
pulse.
planes, all the
Electromagnetic
planes
pulse.
in the air right now would just fall.
Yep.
Everything.
Wow.
Everything mechanical that runs on electricity is going to be over. It's
So
done.
basically, it doesn't do any like physical damage. It does like electrical damage.
It fries the
Not
electronics.
immediately. It don't do any physical damage.
So the thing is, though, is that when they have been talking about this scientifically with NASA and everything else, it's just a matter of time before there actually is a flare that comes off of the sun that hits the Earth just right. Because every couple of years, you'll hear about this monster solar flare that's coming that could potentially knock out satellites and all this kind of stuff. But the way the axis is and the rotation of the Earth and where it's positioned at, it doesn't, it's not a real big threat. Sort of like these asteroids. There was one today that was 90 feet long that was supposed to crash into the Earth. Well, they said there's 1 in a million chances, but if it does, it's going to kill everybody. Don't worry about it. It's 1 in a million chance. So don't even sweat it. But I'm seeing these stories like 3 times a week now because they're checking these things out. Well, they don't really know about solar flares. And one thing I know about 2018 is solar activity has been very quiet. It's been very quiet. So that's why they say it's going to be a very cold winter this year, because there's not a lot of sunspots. But it's on a 40-year cycle, the sun. Now, how they know that, I don't know. I'm just going by what scientists say and what I read on Google. But there's 2 ways you get an EMP blast. One of them is going to be from a solar flare, some kind of natural cause, and the other one's going to be from a nuclear blast. And I believe, what is it, 400, 500 feet up, if they let a nuclear bomb off,
It's actually higher than that. It's like I think it's like 14 kilometers.
14 kilometers high. So we'll say close to maybe 12 miles, something like that, high in the sky.
It's either 14 or 41 kilometers.
So if you're invading somebody, and this is a very real possibility. This isn't some kind of conspiracy thing. This is absolutely the real deal. This is why they talk about people having a plan B. What happens when electricity, like all things, and the reason I bring this up is because this just a couple days ago, we didn't have electricity. The world was coming to an end, and it was only off for 3 hours.
Right.
What happens when it comes off for 6 weeks or a year?
Look what happened a couple years ago when it was out for a long time. People
when the
stealing
derecho come through.
Yeah.
that was, 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
In some areas.
Now, are you going around asking everybody their plan B, or are you just?
Well, I mean, okay, we'll get into that.
Before we get into that,
But
I was going to say, you want me to shoot out the statistics after an EMP?
Okay, well, first of all, let's talk about the reality of an EMP. An EMP, once again, I know I've been bringing this up, but what's going to happen is at some point in time, it's a matter of time. Yep. It's not going to happen, and we're going to go with a solar flare or a
it can
solar
happen
storm.
different ways.
It can, but we're going to do that over a nuclear bomb because I'm thinking in my mind they have so many people are watching nuclear missiles and everything from all these countries. As soon as one goes up, there's going to be 1,000 go up, and everybody's going to be dead. Thank goodness, because no one's going to have to live through that stuff. Everybody's going to be instantly dead. Mutual annihilation, mutual destruction. So we're going to say the sun does something crazy. And it comes shooting through there. There was one just a couple years ago. They said it's going to actually probably disrupt communication and GPS a little bit, so don't be worried about it. And it most certainly does. But it doesn't fry everything just the way the angle hits. So anyway, when one of these things hits, what's going to happen? When it's a full direct blast from the sun, and it actually fries electronics, from everything from transistor radios to cell phones to the the electrical grid to your cars, what happens, Darren?
Everything. Once the EMP blast happens, the military study that was conducted recently says that immediately after an EMP event will be 40 on. This is just on the East Coast, the Eastern Seaboard. 4.1 million people displaced. 90 nuclear reactors melt down.
Oh,
that's what
and a 90% death rate in the first year.
Jesus.
So you look at the majority of people in the United States live on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that for a second. But I can absolutely understand it because without electricity, once again, we're going back to the survival aspect of things.
You're going right back to primitive Stone Age.
You don't have heat. You don't have refrigeration. Yep. You don't have air conditioning. You don't have anything in the hospital. You don't have any communication. You don't have any way to get gasoline. You don't have jack shit, to be quite honest with you, except you're living like the Amish.
And even if you survive the initial EMP event, anything that conducts electricity is fried. It doesn't matter if it was on during the event or anything. If it conducts electricity, it's gone. It's done.
So what happens? Here's the thing. If you're going to come up with a plan, because Darren and I, we like to talk about this stuff. Is it ever going to happen?
I can talk forever on this.
Hopefully we're dead. But here's the thing. How long off that initial blast, do you have to plan for? Some people will plan for years. I've got 3 years worth of food.
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to have to plan that long because everybody will kill themselves just scrounging for stuff in the first place. Yeah. They're going to be looking for heat. They're going to be
looking for your 3 years of food.
They're going to be looking for stuff. That's why you never tell anybody.
Exactly.
So how long do you actually have to prepare for? My guess is 3 or 4 months. Because by that time, things are going to happen they're going to escalate so fast without electricity that half the people that we know, if not more than that, are either going to be dead from disease or from killing themselves or just civil unrest for the most part.
Well, he said 90%.
90% in the first
year.
In the first year.
Right.
But listen to how fast this escalates. How soon after an event like that do you personally think that things turn violent?
Oh, I think it's days.
Days.
Yeah, a matter of days.
Okay. Well, if you knew...
I have an answer to this.
Well, here's the thing, and that's why I don't really trust anything what I hear on the news, because it's all about population control. If they told you, if you hear that you'll never hear there's an asteroid going to hit the Earth, because they know what's going to happen. You'll know it after it hits. They're not going to say, hey, listen, by the way, you got about 6 hours before this monster asteroid is going to wipe North America off the planet. Or like the super volcano out there in Yellowstone. They're not going to say, hey, listen, it's just a matter of time, like in the next couple of days, this thing's going to pop, and everything that we know now is going to turn Stone Age. Because everybody's going to be running to Walmart, shooting people, taking stuff to prepare for this thing. They're not going to say it until after it's over.
Right.
And by that time, they're in their bunker over at the FBI complex in Bridgeport. No, but you can see that, when it happens, and like I said, natural causes, will it happen? It's happened throughout history. Will it happen again? I don't know. Hopefully not when we're alive, anyhow. But what do you do? Because the more dependent we get, we
the
can't
more vulnerable we become.
It's like we can't understand how they built the pyramids in Egypt because we forget how to do calculations. We can't even fathom the fact of how they would get this stone and glide. We can't even think about that because they didn't have calculators, and we have calculators and laser angles and everything else. But anyway, how fast
today's society got lazy?
Yeah,
it's because of technology.
Right.
I've got a guess to that, and I think Todd is like way overestimating the human genome. I'm saying it's within 15 minutes of EMP.
And I'm going to say this:
that it becomes violent.
If they know, this is what
you know how someone's going to know when they go out and they try to start their car and that
nobody's
car won't even start.
Exactly. When nobody cars,
when everybody in the neighbors, because you got to look at this.
You're right.
And since you're on this, just for the sake of conversation, the answer is less than 24 hours.
Yeah,
it turns violent because. Think about this. It's human nature to just live in the moment. We don't prepare for anything. You know, some do, some don't. But in general, nobody prepares for anything because you only have 3 days of markets, 3 days of food in the markets. Okay?
Right.
There's no trucks bringing it. There's nothing. So once people figure out, oh my God, it's done.
Yeah.
I don't have anything, but I know Joe Schmuck over here. He has, 15 cases of pop or bottled water. Well, guess what? My family needs it. I'm taking it. And that's just human nature.
That's when the violence kicks in.
Well, I think there's the big difference,
that's less than 24 hours.
Yeah, the big difference is because, like when something happens like the other day when the transformer blew, there's going to be a difference because you were able to get on your phone and go, hey, guys, I think the power went out. But you're not going to... There's nothing.
It's going
to
nothing. Phones.
As soon as the phone goes dead, the car goes dead. You have no power. That's when it's going to kick in your head. Survival. Because everything is out. Something bad has happened, and I got to protect myself and my family.
If you go out,
you'll do what you have to do.
You go,
absolutely.
If the electricity's off in your house and you go and try to start your car and you don't have electricity in that car, then you know what? Whatever happens, it's going to be weird. It's going to be very weird because
you know what doesn't take electricity? Firearms.
Yeah, that's right. You better have them out.
Now let me throw something else at you here. During the power outage the other day, or yesterday, was it yesterday?
Friday.
Friday. The next day, we were at the American Legion turning in gifts for the kids and stuff like that. And just to show you how the people growing up today has no clue. This woman was saying, well, let's play board games and stuff like that. And the kids were saying, what's a board game? Well, I'm already bored. Why would I get bored? They have no clue because they're not being taught because they're using, you see 2 and 3 year olds on your phones watching these shows on YouTube and all this, but nobody does family time anymore. Nobody's teaching primitive things as far as, a board game. Candlelight in a board game.
And really, how primitive is board games?
Well,
exactly.
And I'm going to blame a little bit, too, on the survival aspect as far as politics goes. Because now everything is so divisive. It's so divisive that we're so used to wanting to hate somebody. And we're so used to wanting to jump on somebody. You can still go to some communities. Say, when we go back down to Webster Springs, you could have a flat tire, and somebody's going to be right there that they know you're not to fix it for you. Shinson, they're going to drive by thinking you're looking for drugs. Or, they're afraid, afraid you're going to kill them. So depending on where you're at and what kind of atmosphere you're living up in, is how you're going to. Are you going to survive as a community? Are people going to come together, or are people going to just eat themselves apart? You go to Clarksburg, Fairmont, Morgantown. You know what? It's going to be on around here. It's going to be on.
I'm going to put it to you like this: God help anybody if we all happen to be and our families all happen to be together at the same place when this happens, because you know damn well right the group of us.
We already got the small army.
Listen.
Yeah, there ain't gonna be no taking us down.
But that's the problem, though, isn't it? Say it's a Tuesday night. We're all home. Darren lives all the way out there. Jimmy lives. We can't communicate with each other. We can't. Hey, let's do a rendezvous. We can't. Yeah, we can't get together because I can't even get to your house because it's gonna take me 2 days to walk there.
Hey, you know what? But the person like me, I would come to your house, Todd. I know where you live. I'll walk.
I say. Todd and Chuck's is center location between all of us.
And and that's the thing is that when we're sitting here talking about a scenario that's going to happen at some point in time. It most certainly is, and it's not going to be from a nuclear bomb. It's going to be from the sun. It's just a natural thing, just like a thunderstorm's going to happen. So, to sit here and say it's crazy to think about is not very crazy because the crazy thing is when it happens that you didn't have a plan, knowing that it's going to happen.
Well, let me tell you how real that I'm going to tell you this is. People know me. All my friends, they know me. They know what I do. They know that I've tried to teach people about survival and self-preparedness. And a few of my friends have made jokingly, well, if anything happens, I'm just coming to your house. And I immediately tell them, you come to my house, I'm going to shoot you at the gate.
Yeah, because you don't have enough.
Right.
Oh, we'll just eat you. We'll put you over a fire.
I'm going to shoot you at the gate. If you're not bringing anything to contribute.
But see, when it comes to when it even comes to survival stuff, here's one thing I don't like. We're talking about you can have plenty of ammo, and we can do a Roman turtle and shoot ourselves right through town, and man, we could be fine. we could very easily do that. But one thing that is not taught is social compassion. Is how are you going to interact with other people?
Well,
I mean, if you have to worry about
cuddle.
No. What I'm saying is, if you have to worry about it's all survival is all based upon what you have,
right?
Okay, what you have and what you can protect. It's not based on how everybody's going to interact with each other. You know what I mean? How is the world going to interact with each other? Because it's basically, when it comes to that point in time, it's just you.
Yeah, same as
lone
you going
wolf.
Crazy on a deserted island if you're by yourself. Just the mental aspect of it.
I tell you, I was on a deserted island one time. Yeah, do you have any sad music? This is sad.
Oh Lord.
Listen, let me tell you this. I was shipwrecked one time. This was back in '43.
They made a movie about it.
They absolutely did.
Yeah, Castaway.
No,
Wilson.
It was.
Yeah.
Did you find Wilson?
Yeah. Who's Wilson? So anyhow,
what's Castaway?
Castaway? No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
The volleyball he made, his buddy.
I don't even know what movie you're talking. Listen, it's my story.
All right, tell your story.
So anyway, I was on this boat.
Oh.
And I was like I was leaving Ireland, and I was coming over to America because I flew over in a Concorde. It was a really
last flight too.
Yeah, it was.
That's great.
So then what happened was we hit something. I don't know what it was. I have no idea. And it was hard to save myself because there were like a bunch of kids in my way, and they were slow, and I just had to almost walk on them like Jesus walked on water. And I'm trying to get to this because I see this big luggage that said Wisniewski on it. So I get on that thing, and I just float. I float to Greenland, by the way. Yeah. And the crazy thing is Greenland is full of ice.
Iceland is green.
Yeah.
And Iceland is green. It's weird. It's kind of crazy like that. So then this plane comes by. And I was like, yeah, it's just like that. It was called the Enola Gay, but I didn't get on it because I don't like gay stuff. So I was like, I'm not getting on that. I don't even know who Enola Gay is.
That's the first I've ever heard you say that.
Yeah, well, it's a traumatic experience.
You love Jimmy, though.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about anything like they had. Like
Happy. He doesn't like happy.
Yeah, I'm a sad guy. This is why it's a sad story, dude. So we get on the plane, and this music it just kills the mood. So anyway, I go ahead and I get in a canoe. And I go ahead and float myself over. I pass a bunch of Vikings.
Float your boat,
I had one guy said, "Viva la Darren! Viva la Darren!" I said, "You're a freaking Viking, man. You're not talking French to me, bitch." That's what I said.
Yeah, get him.
Yeah. So anyway, he looked just like Darren. It could have been Darren. I don't know. So I'm in my little canoe and I land up there in Newfoundland. I don't know if you've been to Newfoundland or not. Where I come from, we call it Newfound Land. But for a reason, when you're in Canada, you say Newfoundland, like you sound kind of sophisticated. But to me, it's Newfound Land. So I get on this Newfound Land.
French accents.
Newfoundland. Frenchy fries and Jacques Desor, voulez-vous, mon chéri.
I'm very intrigued in your story.
Yeah,
Keep going.
Listen, I loved trig in high school, but I don't like it now, so keep that out of it. So anyhow, I get on land and I see these Indians, and they're pretty sexy. They're not like the National Geographic chicks with their boobs hanging out and all that. I mean, these are like chicks because it was wintertime.
It's like Pocahontas.
It was like, yeah, it was absolutely Pocahontas. So I go ahead and I make friends with Pocahontas or whatever her name was. Pocahontas or whatever her name was. I'm not sure what it was. And we travel on the Appalachian Trail all the way down to West Virginia. And that's where I met my folks who left me a long time ago. That's when I had to grow up with Orphan Annie. Because I was an orphan. You know that story.
Yeah, right. I've heard
Did you
that
have
story.
your secret Dakota ring?
I didn't have my secret Dakota ring because I gave it to Secret Squirrel. Hence, he started the FBI.
Don't worry. They just want you to drink your Ovaltine.
Listen, I don't mess with anything unless they're over teenage years, Chad. What are you talking about?
Ovaltine.
Sick bastard. What the hell's wrong with you, you pedophile? Anyway, with that being said, it all worked out right, and I'm going to go ahead and sing a song because I'm happy right now, boy. Yeah.
Jesus is a friend of mine.
Jesus is my friend.
Jesus is a friend of mine. I have a friend in Jesus. Jesus is a friend of mine. Jesus is my friend.
Yeah.
Jesus is a friend of mine. He taught me how to.
You can't get this song. You listen to this song and you can't get it out of your head. I swear to you.
For 3 hours, I did everything I could.
Listen, I even looked on YouTube and saw they have like a 10-hour loop.
Right, here we go. The chorus. Here we go.
Jesus is a friend of mine.
Jesus is my friend.
Jesus is a friend of mine.
I have it in Jesus.
Jesus is a friend of mine.
Jesus is my friend.
Jesus is a friend of mine.
Is that not the greatest or what?
Listen, can I just tell a story real quick?
Tell it real quick.
Last night, what's the game that the kids were playing on Alexa?
Spin the bottle.
No.
Oh, it was like Alexa. It was the make an announcement thing.
Okay, so you can. I can't say her name.
Play this.
You can say her name and then say make an announcement.
Really?
And then you say something and it records it, and then it goes through every Alexa in the entire house. So like every room hears it.
No kidding.
So last night we watched a Christmas movie with the girls. Well, we thought they went to bed. So we were going to bed, and all of a sudden we hear this recording from the girls coming into our bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
So Chuck knew what it was. I didn't know. They were doing the make an announcement thing. So, which if I did it right now, it would go into the house. Like every Alexa.
Listen,
all you have to do
Alexa.
is say,
She don't like me.
Listen. Then watch. The girls will do one right back. Watch. Alexa, tell Erica and Mia to keep it quiet.
Sorry.
You didn't do make an announcement.
Yeah.
Oh, did I not say that?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Watch this because the girls will send one during that dinner and they'll send one right back. Alexa, make an announcement.
What's the announcement?
Tell the girls to bring Michelle a beer right now.
Announcing.
Tell the girls to bring Michelle a beer right now. Okay, now listen. We're going to get one back here in a second from the girls in the house.
So anyway, so they were sending us all this crazy stuff. We're laying in bed. We're trying to go to sleep, and we keep getting all these announcements. So Chuck, he was sending some back, and the next thing we know, we started singing the friend and because you could hear them laughing because from where our bedroom is and theirs, when they would get our announcement, they would just giggle. Hee hee hee. Well, then we started singing announcements in that song.
Right.
Chuck and I were singing the song. Jesus is a friend of mine.
Jesus is my friend.
Jesus is a friend of mine.
I got a friend in Jesus.
So we would sing that whole thing and send it to them. Dead silence. Like they didn't know what to say. They didn't know what to send back. They didn't know what to say. And we just kept doing it over and over and over.
Let's try to send them another one. They're afraid. Alexa, make an announcement.
What's the announcement?
Bring me a beer now.
Cancel. We're going to sing the Jesus song. Cancel.
Announcing.
Oh, no.
Bring me a beer now.
Cancel. Okay, so anyway, you can try that at all. And it's hard to tell what we're telling if somebody else can
do you have to set Alexa up or anything? Or you just
No, it's part of the gig.
Okay.
The girls figured it out last night. We started getting all these announcements.
Yeah, well, I started it with them because they didn't know that.
You know how the Alexa thing goes over the radio, goes over? I wonder if anybody else is making announcements now, too.
I know. I kind of wonder that. Alexa, call Todd back. Alexa, call Todd. Why is she not listening to me now? Oh,
Alexa.
you know what? No, they're making
an announcement.
There it is. Call Todd.
Todd Vincent, Todd Leneve, or Todd Beck?
Todd Beck.
I couldn't find a contact matching one back. To see your contacts, go to the Alexa app.
Let me tell you something. One back. That's one back.
Do it again. I can't hear myself now.
Alexa, call Todd Beck.
Calling Todd Beck.
Let's see what happens. See if we can get him on the phone. That lazy POS.
Lazy bastard. He probably won't answer.
We're Pogs now.
Huh?
I thought we were Pogs.
What's Pog, babe?
P-O-G. You said it earlier.
That's
I don't
me.
know.
Poggers. Remember, we're
That's
poggers.
me, pot of gold.
But you said we all could
You're the
be.
you're the POG
Better
crew.
Better be a
It's not.
POG, a pogger than a pegger.
I'd rather be a pogger than a pegger.
It's not working. Didn't call me.
Okay, well, I can see where she's trying.
The contact is not available.
Oh, okay, well, whatever.
I am. It's right here.
Okay. Anyway, but that's the thing is that do you have a plan B? Do you know your neighbors? Do you trust your neighbors? Do you have enough food? How much food do you have? Do you think the food that you have will actually even mean anything? You can stockpile for a year or 2 years, but in reality of things, what are you going to do? I mean, you can have all your cell phones, you can have all the gasoline that you want. You don't have enough gasoline because if you go outside and the power's off and you throw something in your generator, somebody's going to come get you and take your generator.
I think a lot of it's trust. It's all trust. You don't know who to trust.
One of the things I think is funny is we call my mom Mini Walmart because, honest to God, for some reason she's got 3 closets with food and food underneath the beds, and plus the regular cabinetries and extras.
Dude, you ain't seen my house yet.
Well, we make fun and call her, Mini Walmart and everything, but we also almost live at the top of a hillside. So it's kind of like we have the overview advantage of being able to see someone coming up trying to take our crap.
You got the high ground, Chad.
Yeah, we got the high ground. Plus, we've got the goods.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I might be stuck there for a few days.
But that's the entire thing too. I mean, it would be fun for a couple days if the world came to society broke down, to take some pot shots off. People coming up like it's.
You would have to be prepared to kill somebody.
Oh no! Well, there would be no question. You wouldn't be in the frame of mind you are now. It would be
The realistic part of that is, it's not just people or people that that may be strangers coming, but you actually have to start thinking about, okay, who in my family do I trust?
Well, yeah, sure. But I'm going to ask you this. when it comes down to it. Is it better to let people know that you're, like, say, if it came to it and you were on the hill and you could pop them off because you had zombies walking all over your yard looking for something to eat? Or would it be better just to hide and let them think that you weren't even there in the first place? What's it going to be? Do you want to pop their heads off,
I've got an
or
answer
do you
for
want to
that.
just wait
Y'all go ahead.
until they walk by and you're like, hey, listen, I'm not even here. Go ahead on by. Because I think once you start, it's going to be an onslaught because they know you're there, and you
who's they going to tell?
Make a subtle announcement.
You've killed
maybe,
them.
though. Just say, hey, stay back. I don't know. Because if someone does breach it, I don't know.
I mean, is it possible for a family?
You show that pink mist coming off the back of somebody's head a couple times, the word's going to get around. Stay the hell away from there.
Yeah. But see, I wonder if it got so desperate, though, if that would be. Or if they would come up with some sort of a plan and say, okay, you go this way, because there's only so many people in that house, and then we're just going to go ahead and bum rush.
I don't know. Need to have a plan, though,
because it would be fun just go.
You'd be able to see. You'd be able to see who it is, because
in Chad's situation,
and then they could be coming saying, you want them to be able to approach, not trying to steal your stuff, but to be able to approach, like, hands up, like, hey, listen, I got this with me, whatever, you know what I mean?
I still trust.
But, like Todd's saying, what's saying that Chad and I are best buddies, but what's saying somebody doesn't come up and say, listen, I'm going to kill the kids and Michelle unless you walk up to Chad's house, because I know he has 2 years worth of food. So you're going to act like to get in the door, and you're going to do something.
Yeah.
So if you're Chad, you're saying, okay, there's Chuck, he's a cool dude, and we're best friends. But in reality, I'm thinking, okay, I don't want the family being killed. So you know what I mean? This is entire societal breakdown of survival.
Well, that's where you've got to set your ground rules. My house, my rules. Now, if we all got together in one specific location and we communed together, that's one thing.
Right.
If you decided to stay at your house, Darren tried to stay at his house, I tried to stay at my house, you come to my house, you're a potential threat. Exactly. That's how I'm going to treat you.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are cordial until you show me otherwise, and believe me, all you got to do is blink wrong, and I'm blowing your head off.
Because you have the most important thing is your family.
Absolutely.
Chuck, you love him, but
I love him to death. But if you aren't commune with me, you are
I
potentially
get that,
my
but you
enemy.
also have to remember, like, okay, say, we're buddies, you got your stuff, how do you not know that, like, say someone came and raided my stuff, something happened, and I'm coming to you saying, listen, hey, this is what happened. I'm not here to steal your stuff, but I want to help you to try and get more stuff, or we got to do something, kind of a thing.
Well,
and I would do the same for you,
And even with, and that's why we have a great bubble. But theoretically, if you're in a bubble, what's saying that I have my stuff, Chad has his stuff, and I know the world's not coming back online anytime soon. I'm talking maybe 10 years. So I'm like, I'm one of these calculating guys, because you always know these people that are calculating. So we have this plan. And what I'm going to do is pull out my pistol and wax everybody, and I'm going to have all their shit. You know what? You would actually have to really trust.
That's the problem. That's the problem with having a bubble.
Yeah.
That's the problem with having a bubble in this type of situation. Because if we, in our bubble, decided to commune together, that means everybody has to pull their own weight.
Right.
Everybody brings what they have to share with everybody. Once there is some type of, you know what, that's mine, and I just appreciate it. Everybody just let it be mine. Okay, maybe each individual family has one thing that they just call their own. Okay, that's not unreasonable.
Right.
But everything else needs to be
It's for the
community
benefit of the
property for our commune.
Right.
Now,
as far as
let
the
me
survival
tell you,
aspect.
you guys are forgetting. Once you do this, and regardless of, the key to what you're saying right now is community. Okay, if you commune together, but in that early stage, that first year, first winter, okay, the first few months when everything breaks down and goes violent, that's when, and this is my answer to that question you gave, that's when you disappear. Let them have it out on their own.
Yeah, let them whittle each other down.
You disappear.
But can you disappear? Because if I got everything stockpiled and ammo and food and it's all at it's at the house. I cannot leave that house, and I can't take it all with me.
But
so
if you have prepared in advance, you have a place that you can go near that's hidden.
Yeah, well, that would be ideal.
I think it's crazy to turn on your people, though, just for the fact that then you're left by yourself in case another group comes.
Okay, now I'm going to throw a wrench in this entire conversation because we're going from having something down to nothing. Okay, so we can't fathom that. However, there were a lot of people that had nothing and actually did the communal thing, like what Chad's talking about, say the Pilgrims, or whoever came from on this boat, and they survived, and they had this little, and they didn't have houses, they didn't have anything. They actually had to build all their shit. But somehow they did it without killing each other because they had to survive. So is that going to be the predominant thing?
They had the natives.
That will come.
Well,
that will come,
but it takes time. You have to
get through that initial
with that
phase,
first year.
Exactly. You have to. If you survive that first year, then
I'm not even going to say year. I'm agreeing with you with what you said earlier.
It's going to snowball fast.
Winter.
Yeah, it's the first winter.
However long it takes to get through the first winter.
Yep.
That's where you're going to have your individual.
The winter, whenever the event happens to win the first winter, the winter is going to accelerate your 90%.
Yeah, but you know what the thing is though,
because
it can happen.
Out there, a lot of people that we know and people in this room.
Yeah,
don't know how to start a fire.
Right, and that's the thing is that you know what, we have Google and we have YouTube and everything else now. 200 up until 200 years ago, if even that far away, people were living in the woods. And they didn't have electricity. So you know what? Why is it now that everybody has sort of in that short lifespan, you have people living on Earth for millions of years, in the last 200, which would be a tenth of a tenth of a tenth of a tenth of a percent, have forgot it all.
Yep. Electricity's only been around right around 110 years.
Yeah, so say 100 years. And then probably even in the last 60 or 70 is when it really became
mainstream.
Yeah, and then maybe even the last 40 to 50 where you start having cell phones and everything else. But you can see, so I mean, it's the fact of when you had that community like the Pilgrims, I'm sure they just didn't have any Joe Blow from Idaho come over on the boat. It was like this tight group. You had that bubble. That I'm going to be able to trust you, right?
Right.
I mean, we're going to go on this boat. We're going to go in this place that we don't know.
Yeah.
And you're not going to stick it in my ass when we get over there, right? You know, and you wouldn't be on that boat if it wasn't like that. And that would be like in your little pod. So it would be very beneficial to have a plan B because again, it's going to happen. Now, are we going to be alive when it happens? I don't know. I mean, they're talking about
exactly.
We don't know, but you don't want to be that guy that when it does happen, you're like, oh. And the government, I can tell you, if you don't have a radio or anything, how are you going to find out? The only way you're going to find out is
EMP
that
blast. It's not going to work.
well, that's the entire thing. The only way you're going to know if it was an EMP blast is if you're educated on the fact that it was an EMP blast. Most people are probably they can't even spell EMP, so they wouldn't even know if they went out to in their cars and everything else didn't start. They wouldn't have any idea what was going on. Whereas if you did know, that would give you a chance to kind of get yourself prepared. You go out and your car don't start because everything else in the house is dead. You're like, oh, I know what this is about.
Yep.
Yeah. Time to roll, baby, or time to do whatever your plan B
You'd be
right
ahead of the
now.
game, though,
Now,
because
just
a
to
lot
give
of
you a
other people
timeline real quick, and then I'll let y'all just talk. But I could talk forever on this stuff. Bugging in versus bugging out. I mean, whatever, all that whole thing. But the timeline. The first, you have to get. We all have a bubble, okay?
Right.
But we have to get past that first initial breakdown. You're on your own until you make it past that. After that, then we seek each other out. Once we once we're stable, once everything's calmed down, once 90% of people's killed themselves, that's when we start looking for each other, and that's when we start a community because everybody in this room, we know we can trust each other.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you this question. Let me ask you this question, and we're going to shut this down because it's already 15:09 already.
Yes.
What happens if What happens if I'm sick, and I have I don't know, the flu?
I'll give you my kidney.
Say if I had the flu, and this happens, even though we have this plan, do you accept me and risk the fact of infecting the community?
Quarantine.
Oh, yeah.
That's
an easy fix.
There are those of us that know how to quarantine.
Right. But at that point, though, when I can't get, or anybody that I've been, because you have your incubation period, you can't, you're going to have to say, okay, well, you can go ahead and be with us, but you're going to be staying on that hillside for 25, 30 days. Then if you're still well, then you can go, come on over. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you have to. That's something else to even have to think about.
Well, you got lucky because you married a nurse, so she can nurse you back to health.
You know what? Just
But you got to have the
What
stuff.
if the nurse is
How
the one that
how
has
much
the flu?
herbal medicine do you know, Michelle?
How much herbal?
How much herbal medicine do you know?
Well, everything that every illness, like colds and things like that, I never take medicine that you buy because I'm all about natural, and I just fight things out. So I'm not a medicine taker.
Be it herbal or be it like pharmaceutical.
Or just like doing nothing.
You just let your
doing
that's what I mean. You let your body do it.
A hot steam shower or
exactly.
Organic treatment.
Yeah, I'm not a big medicine fan at all. I'm not a big
Anytime
antibiotic fan.
Anytime I get sick, I drink a shitload of alcohol because I'm thinking the alcohol will actually just sterilize my blood. Because the first thing they do when they put a shot in, they give you put a little alcohol swab in there. So I just sterilize my blood with it.
I do the hot toddy thing though.
Yeah, hot toddy is hot
I'm just not a big
too, by the way.
medicine person.
See, I think that's where our downfall would be. You and I both, we do kind of like our liquor. So that would be my hardest,
to give up?
overcoming.
That's all they had.
Just stock up on it.
Well, the thing is, though, you would
Or
need
you could
liquor
use the
for
bargaining.
bargaining.
Yeah,
you would.
Stock up.
But that's what I mean. This didn't even need this
can
just
balloon,
go on forever,
yeah.
and we're not going to do that. We're going to shut this thing down. But you can understand. Well, we're just talking about some stuff to put some things in your head if you're talking about it, if you're even thinking about it. It again. What happens? It's going to be awful when it happens. It will be absolutely awful because you're not going to be able to drive to Go-Mart. You're going wherever you go. You're going to have to walk, and if you can even make it that far, because everybody's going to be like, "Where are you doing?" I'm just going to town. Why aren't you driving? I don't know. I'm just wanting to take a walk.
Yeah, when they see my fat ass walking down the road, they know something's wrong.
That's what I mean. It's going to be bizarre. It would be bizarre to see that. I mean, you've seen them in the movies and everything else. But anyway, we're going to shut it down. Once again,
cool.
Thanks to Wesley and Chad, and we had Darren and Michelle and Derek last night at the Shinston Christmas Parade. Brucey and Todd, you had a good time at the Union Booth.
Really nice, really nice.
Jimmy Wiz and celebrating his mom Kathy's up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Her big birthday. Gosh, dang! Tell you what, buddy. Chewy.
Happy birthday!
I can't wait to see Kathy.
You're married.
I know. Thank goodness that no one knows when St. Jude's birthday is. We have because we have two St. Jude's.
I know
now.
exactly when St. Jude's birthday is.
How did you?
Okay. Anyway, we're going to keep that quiet. So moving on, I want to really thank you guys for everything. We have a big Christmas parade on December 14th here in Lumberport, and we're going to go ahead and rock it out. And we're going to have a good time. So on behalf of Chapuchio from Monongah. The lovely and talented woodchopper down from Webster Springs,
Well,
Webster
thank
County,
you.
West Virginia, Michelle Rogan. Over there from all over the world, we have the director, Darren D. Hardman. Straight from Tokyo, Japan, Bruce Godzilla HAHAHA. Yeah. And like we said, we don't have the clapper. We do have Alexa, though. Whatever happened, can you still...
Oh.
Yeah.
Clap for us, Alexa.
What happened to the clapper, Alexa?
Sorry, I don't know that.
Okay. On behalf of Jimmy Whiz over from up from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, we have over from Ohio. From where else were you been? You've been all over the country. You've been in truck stops all over the place. Leonardport. We've been over there from Bridgeport. And we have the Chewbacca of the show, the best man at the wedding. We have Todd, Captain Earl Beck.
Lot Lizard.
Lot Lizard.
What the hell's a lot lizard?
Look it up.
Look
It's
at that.
right there with
Ladies
the
and
pagan.
gentlemen, until next week, you have been listening to Rogan Radio.
Later.
Turn on down.